Hello, everyone. We are live. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be alive. And I'm sure you're all excited to be alive. I'd like to know where you're connecting from. Please, your name and where you're connecting from. Thank you. And today we have a guest with us. Her name is Oludayo Adeniyi. But before I bring her on board, I'd like to introduce myself and also introduce the show, what the show is all about. My name is Sandra Ukoh. I'm a Maxwell Leadership Certified Team Member, coach, speaker, and trainer. I'm a sales expert of over 20 years in the IT industry, a member of the Toastmaster International, and also an author. But I also have a book launch coming up soon that I'm about to launch in February. I'll be stating it and making it clear, maybe one of my live videos, one of my live shows. And so today we have a special guest, a friend, and a close sister of mine who probably will be coming on soon. But before I bring her on board, I'd like to introduce what the show is all about. Hi, you're welcome to Making a Difference with Sandra Ukoh. How the believer is a great giant in you, waiting to be discovered and unearthed. You have within you right now all that you need to become that change agent and the best version of you that God has made you to be. It is time to ignite you and discover your greater potential and to see the possibilities that exist within you to help you maximize your potential. Through this unique platform for mentoring, training, teaching, and coaching people on how they can become better versions of themselves after being through trauma and trials in their finances, business, career, relationships, and a lot more. At Making a Difference with Sandra Ukoh live show, we leverage the power of storytelling, coaching, mentorship, and value creation to help bring about the best in people in order to create a world of difference. This show requires bringing us to assessing our value system and process of recreation of a good value system to help shape our thoughts through the guests that share their story on this platform. This process opens our eyes to new strategies, information, and value perspective that will help us define and refine our value system with more clarity on our why. We need to know our why. Why am I here? What have I been called to do or to solve? To help people live with a mindset, begin with the end in mind, and to stand out in all that we are called to do. You can join us live on Monday at 5 p.m. EST, 10 p.m. West African time. And if you have a great story or testimony to share, you can reach us via our contact info@deepinsightword.com. We will respond as soon as we get your details, or you send us your details via this link. Thank you, and you are welcome to today's episode. Hello, thank you so much. I hope you felt welcome, Dario. But before I bring you on board, I just want to quickly read your bio. So I'm excited to have you tonight. Oludayo Adeniyi is fondly called the Abundance Queen. She's a thought leader who provokes people to change, an author, a certified results and performance coach, a certified professional scrum master, a chartered human resources practitioner, and a knowledge broker with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. She is passionate about helping professionals and entrepreneurs attract wealth and abundance effortlessly so that they can achieve their definition of success. She has been privileged to work with hundreds of people across the globe. She's passionate. Just a minute. She's passionate about helping professionals, as I earlier said. She has been featured on different media platforms, including but not limited to Inside Business Africa, Inside Radio, City People, Women Connecting Blog, Nation Newspaper, Brown TV, MITV, Poor Africa, and many more. She was recently recognized in the LinkedIn directory of 2,000 plus women who inspired through their work in the United Kingdom. She is a fibroid survivor, using a story to impact other women with the same condition. Oludayo enjoys reading, watching movies, and dancing. That's a great one. And the next person you get to see is Dio, my friend. Great to have you, sis.
Thank you.
I'm
So
excited.
excited to be here.
Stay with
Thank you for
me. Thank
having me
you.
here today.
Thank you. I just want to welcome you, and I hope you
Thank you.
felt welcome with our intro video. And
Yeah,
today,
yeah. Thank you.
yeah, okay, great. And today, before we just go into the interview, maybe there's something you're doing right now that I didn't mention in your resume you want to share with us before we go into. I know that life is not about accolades or the things you've gotten, but we need to celebrate ourselves, those little successes. It is said that
Yeah.
motivation keeps you going. So sometimes those words, those things, patting your back and praising, helps to keep you going.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm excited to be here. Nice meeting everyone here and those that will catch the replay afterwards and all of that. Well, I'm excited, like I said, to be here. Apart from all the things that you've read, one major thing that drives me and that I'm passionate about, it's all about impacting people. And, I love this quote by Jim Rohn that says that service to many leads to greatness. In life, the greatness that we seek is in the lives that we transform. You can have everything, but at the end of the day, what is important is how you are able to impact people. So
Yeah,
basically everything that I do is around impacting. That it can be in different expressions, but the centering of everything is about impacting people, is about helping people manifest the grandest version of themselves, because every one of us was created for a purpose. And
sure.
I say to people, even though we all know this saying that we're all unique, nobody has your fingerprints,
Yeah,
even though they say they look like you, but you are just different. There's just something about you. Your makeup isn't the same with anybody. You have twins from the same mother, born on the same day, but their compositions totally different. That is how powerful we are. So if we are created that uniquely, that means that we are created for different assignments at
sure.
different times. So for every one of us, living our lives, impacting people, and ensuring that that gift that has been given to us is used fully, such that by the time I am dead and gone, even by the time they are putting me to the grave will say, this lady didn't even leave any gift or anything
Wow.
inside of her. So basically, that's what drives me. I'm always excited about that. It gives me so much joy, it gives me so much fulfillment. And that's why I'm excited to be here today, also, to learn and also to be able to share my story to impact, other other people, you know,
Awesome.
that are also here.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That's a great one. And yeah, normally, what you said is true. It says a life not lived serving others is a wasted life. You cannot be happy when you find someone not happy. For such a person like you said, you like impacting people, meaning that if you find people around you not being happy, you are not happy because you want to ensure that the person is happy and the person lives a satisfied life. And it said that life is not lived. Leaders are those who know it and show it to others. Everything lies and falls with the leader. So if you know it and you're holding it, you're actually doing yourself a great disservice. It is
Yeah,
said that when
absolutely.
you help people, when you go out of your way to help them, you are also growing and you're
Yeah,
also preparing yourself for the days that you will need them. Not intentionally doing it that way or going out for that, but you're preparing, you're touching life such that in your time of need, you don't need to call anyone. You have foot soldiers, you have people. And I said the richest of men are the people who have soldiers, who have people, not the people who have the largest money or the fattest accounts, because there are people who are rich and have money, but do not have people around them. They are of all men most miserable and lonely. So having people is, that's why I tell people, I say relationship is a higher currency greater than money. Money when missing or got money when spent can be gotten again, but life spent, relationship lost, cannot be gotten, you cannot reverse it. Time spent, we're probably in our mid 40s, close to 50. You understand what I mean? You can't go back 10 years again to say you want to correct some things. All you need to do is to move on and keep correcting the ones you can correct, and that's why we have our eyes in front. We're forward looking. Maybe God would have probably given us the eyes to see the back, but God, there's a reason why we're given eyes to see for where, our vision is to look ahead, and look out for what God has called us to be. Thank you so much for that great word and that
Welcome.
passion to impacting and changing the lives, around you. That's a great one. So I actually would start with survivor, success, and significance, the 3S. Why are we living? What is our focus? What is moving? What's driving Di? What's driving Sandra? What's driving all the leaders, everyone around in the world? Is everybody's trying to succeed, everyone is trying to survive. And I want to find out why all the accumulation of all the skills, all the learning, all the schools, and I want to know what informed you to doing gathering all this knowledge.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, one thing that I've come to realize, and sometimes you do a lot of things, you may not even be able to say this is why you're doing them at that particular time.
Sure.
But one of the things that I've discovered is that the way we have been wired, we are wired for improvement. We are wired for growth. That is the wiring. That is the how do I say? That is the structure
Yeah.
that we are made of. So the moment we stop learning, the moment we stop growing, what happens is that there's nothing called stagnation. You start
Yes.
dying. It may not manifest
Mm.
immediately, but with time you will see it. So for me, my passion for learning is about exposing myself, is about wanting to be a better person, is about the fact that for me I like to know what is happening. What is happening, how do I become better at what I am doing and all of that. So accumulating all of those, let's call them accolades. Oh, what do you want to call them?
Yeah.
Accumulating all of that for me is about personal development. Because no matter on your path to achieving success, success does not just land on you. It's all about who you are becoming. And
Yes.
before you can become, you have to successfully give yourself to personal development. Because success is not a destination. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So for every one of us, there's a goal, there's a purpose, there's something you want to achieve. There's no destination in all of these things. So you keep improving, you keep getting better. So you discover you've done this, you celebrate your wins, you keep moving. So for me, it's about having a dream, it's about having purpose. And every day of my life, I look for things, I look for ways to improve myself so that I can be a better version of myself, to be able to perform my task better or my
Yes.
responsibilities better, and for me to also be better. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So, because what you don't have, you can't give.
You can't give
So,
what you don't
yeah,
have.
so you can't give. So, the essence of all of that is just for growth, is for you to be able to
Sure.
be a person of value, to yourself and also to the society at large. So basically that is what it's about for me.
That's awesome. It is said that a person of value sees value in himself and also add value. So if you see yourself as being valueless, you don't have value, there is no way you would add value to yourself. So you must first of all value yourself, know your value, then add value to yourself in order to be able to give out. It is said, you can't give out what you don't have. It's not possible. And that's why the computer is said garbage in, garbage out. It's what you give the computer that the computer will give you. You don't expect something else to come out. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? And you
Yeah.
see, there's a word that says, with service to leaders, service leads us to greatness, as you rightly said. I'm actually just recapping some of the words you said for those just joining us. And
Okay.
you said we're wired to grow, and that's true. When you're not growing, you're dying. There's nothing like stagnancy. There is no plant that stops growing. The moment you stop growing, you start dying. And
Yeah.
as you grow, you multiply. It is said that a seed of corn will continue to abide on its own, except the corn itself dies. When the corn dies, that is when it multiplies. So you must be a servant leader. You must, die to self, die to everything. And there's this tree phrase that says, "I, myself, and me." Everything is you, just about you. And if you don't look beyond yourself, you can't grow. He said, "What does not stretch you does not grow you." So you must not live in your comfort zone and expect things to change. There is nothing like stagnancy. There's nothing like being stagnant. You got to be moving. If you're not moving, it's either you're retrogressing, you're going backward. That means you're dying. So it is. And you spoke about being prepared, every time being prepared. And sincerely, it is said that success is equal to preparedness and opportunity. You got to be prepared for opportunity because sometimes you don't know what is the next thing. Maybe when they were looking for the 2,000 women plus on LinkedIn, you were just doing your thing. You were just getting prepared and doing everything. And your opportunity came, met with you, and you became successful. And somebody was like, "Oh, Dayo, how did you make it?" And I'm sure you never went to the mindset that you wanted to be among the 2,000 plus women. You were doing your thing, the love and the passion that you have to giving and impacting knowledge to others. And
Absolutely.
God discovered you. God picked you out of the multitude. And today you're being given the accolades. And like, you must just be a servant leader, ready to give. We are created to serve. And
Yeah.
life is only significant when we give of ourselves. I think from our master too, we have learned that he washed the feet of the disciples. He left everything, even his position, coming down to watch somebody's dirty feet. That's the least of the basis of thing for anyone to do. So we are called to serve. So if you're not serving in your different, I don't know, place of work, your business, whatever you're called to do as passion, check your life. It's either you're not passionate about something, and it is said that when you want to gauge your joy, how happy a man is, check the lives he's touching. Maybe he's not touching anyone, and that's why a selfish person is always all about himself and is not satisfied, is not happy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Welcome.
Thank you. Having your dreams this year, like you rightly said, having your goals and having your dream. You need to know where you're going. You need to have, start life with a mindset of the end from the beginning, knowing, okay, this is where I want to be, so that you can start aligning yourselves. Like she's rightly said, start, training, opening yourself for different training. This could be training in the four walls of a school. This could be informal training, learning how to do something, learning how to make hair, learning how to put things together, how to be a home decor, just whatever, event planner, just learning to do something, not being involved in something, not staying idle. You understand? Giving yourself to knowledge, giving yourself to learning. It is said that if you stop learning, you start dying. Thank you so much for that.
Welcome.
That nugget you shared. And basically, I want to find out, in all of this, did you ever had a difficult times? Was life just all rosy? Because I just saw that you didn't say anything about whether you had some challenges or obstacles or situations or circumstances that swept you off your feet or made you so depressed. You just spoke about how you were just going. So we like to share from you, to
Maybe
learn from you.
maybe you didn't read it well. I said I'm a fibroid survivor, and I use my story for other people. And I always say something to people: when you see the accolades, there's always a price to pay for the accolades.
Sure.
You didn't just land on
No, one
people's.
of the reasons I saw the fibroid, but I
Yeah,
wanted you to say it, how you went through, overcoming all those processes to
yeah,
becoming who you are now and where you're
yeah.
going.
Like thank you. Like we rightfully said, right? I be like we rightfully said, there is no life that doesn't have its challenges. The
Yes,
challenges are what makes us who we are.
sure.
Behind every challenge is opportunity.
Yeah,
So it is what we are seeing. So if you see your challenge and you think it's the end of the road, then you never see the opportunity that is at the end of it. So let me start from, the fibroid thingy. I had fibroid for about 15 years before I had my surgery. And, like the usual thingy, it started like a small thing, and they said, oh, don't worry about it. It's present in all women, this normal gist that we heard. And all of a sudden, it started growing bigger and bigger. And when it was at some point, I wanted to operate it, and they said it was too big. They needed to shrink it. And at that time, there was a medication they said they were going to use to shrink it. And I looked at the side effects, and it wasn't something that was really good for me. So I decided I wasn't going to go for that. So I was stuck with with these fibroids for that number of time because they said they didn't want me to bleed to death, and I said to myself, so I was faced with that. I couldn't go in for the surgery because of the condition that was given. And I said to myself, what next? What next? What am I going to do? Should I live with this? Or is this thing going to kill me? I remember I went through a lot. You know the way it is, you go from one hospital to the other and all of. I remember one experience. I was told to go do a surgery, to go do what they call it, to go do a scan somewhere, and the queue was a bit much, and I was on the queue. And by the time it got to my turn, the man went in he brought up my result, and he screamed multiple, 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 and he just threw my result like that publicly. I was ashamed. Somebody, I don't even know what was happening. I didn't even understand. He just tried. Everybody was looking at me. I felt so bad. I was embarrassed. And that was the day I said to myself that if this thing is going to kill me, let it be. I'm not going to stress myself on it anymore. And I'm not going to spend any money on it anymore. And I remember that day I went to fellowship and I saw my fellowship pastor and I said to him, this is what happened. And he said, hey, it's between you and God. Go and tell, go and tell your father.
Yeah.
So that day I just said I should just dump what's it called? What I was given.
Yeah.
Report. I just left it at the altar and I said, God, if this is the way you want to kill me, and then I said it is fine. I accept. But I will
God
not
wants to kill you.
sometimes when you're going through those things, you just say whatever you like. I said, so if that is it, if this is the way you want me to go, it's fine. But I cannot continue to go through this level of embarrassment that I went through for something I don't even know how it happened, for something I can't even explain. So I said, so if that is the way. And I remember a few days after, I just heard, it is not unto death, but that the Son of Man may be glorified.
Sure.
That became my anchor, and I forgot about the
But
fibroids. And I just said to myself, if this is the word that you're giving, then I went to make bigger clothes that suited my body, that would not make the tummy show. So I just built my life on that word. Since that it was not going to kill me, and I was just living my life. And a lot of people didn't even know that I was going through that at that time, until I finally did the surgery. I did the surgery in 2021. Next month is going to be 2 years that I did the surgery. And the surgery itself was a testimony because over 100 fibroids were removed. And the
mm,
doctor said they'd never seen something like that it was just God that sustained me. And one of the things about personal development and understanding the power of the mind, and also being familiar with our spiritual side, the doctor said something that from the beginning of the surgery to the end, I was just speaking, that I was just speaking. And I was speaking, I would call my name and I would say, Oludayo will leave, Oludayo will leave. And I even called
mm.
his name to thank him for a successful surgery. Even whilst they were doing that, I mentioned his name and I thanked all of them, you know, and I was speaking. They said they were so surprised that I was there and I was speaking from the beginning to the end of it. And this also taught me a lot of things, that we are the architect of our lives. The
Mm.
challenges that we are faced with, they are not to kill us. God has already given us the power to be able to overcome them. So for every one of us, a lot of us work and we think that we are just this body. We are not just the body. We have three components. We comprise of the spirit, the intellect, and our body. Our spirit is the unseen part of us. The intellect is where we reason, where we do all of that. Our body is what carries our spirit. That is the vehicle for our body. So most times we are taken aback by the things that we see, but there's nothing really in existence that was birthed out of what was seen. Everything was birthed out of what was not seen. So we are
Mm.
here on what's the name of this, on StreamYard. It was first an idea in somebody's mind. Somebody thought about it. How can I make it better for people to communicate with clearer videos, with graphics, totally different from what it was before? There was
Yeah.
nothing like StreamYard. The person thought about it. It was first an idea in the unseen, and the person brought it into being. So for every one of us, our challenges is birthing something that you didn't realize. So that you may not know but it is there to make you a better person. So I went through that surgery. It took me almost a year to fully recover. And but do you know that the experience that I went through, I am using it to help other women. I remember I went in a program, I was invited and I was speaking, and somebody said, "Is that Oludayo Adeniyi?" He said, "Yes, she organized one fibroid event, and my sister-in-law attended the program. Now she's pregnant and we're expecting blah blah blah. She had the surgery, she eventually had the surgery, and now she's pregnant. And I don't even know who the lady was. Do you understand? But you're excited that we went through something and you could also use it to also empower other people. I'm not a doctor, I'm not any of that, but I just said, okay, since I went through this, I just added it to what I do. So I did my first year anniversary, and that was when I had that conference to empower other women also going through it, because a lot of people times we don't talk about these things. People are so shy to talk about the things that they are going through, such that they are not being condemned or whatever. But the truth about it is that there's really nothing we are hiding. You've gone through it, you're a survivor. Other people are going through what you're going through. They need you to give them strength. So I went out there to give them strength based on, what I know, and bringing other expertise, other experts also in the various fields to come and also speak to people. So that I had for 15 years. And during that period, I was also doing my career. That was also, you can remember, you can look at 15 years, in someone's
Yes,
career.
you didn't allow it to stop you.
I didn't allow it to stop me. I said to people at 30, I was already a director. So it was, I was just going. I was just going because the challenges we face are not to do what? Are not to destroy us. They are to make us better. Most of our responses to situations is based on the things we have been taught. People think that challenges are not good. So I always say to people, the Cinderella story, why do we still watch Cinderella story as at today? Even adults will sit and watch Cinderella story. I said, why? Why are we having new people, the story being modified, into different things? I said, because it's a story of a success. The lady, she had her challenges. Cinderella had her challenges, and she overcame her challenges, and she lived happily ever after. So I said to people, if the book just came out and it was like, Cinderella just married the prince, I said, would you buy it? Would there be any story? Would there be anything to talk about there? So I said to people, our lives is just a testimony. Our lives is a story in itself to help other people. So when you're going through your challenges and you know at the back of your mind that this challenge is to make me a better person, then what would happen for you is that your approach towards that situation will be different. Shakespeare said something, there's nothing good or bad. It is the meaning that we attach to it. So your
Yeah,
challenge, the challenge you're going through is neither bad nor good. It is the meaning that you attach to it that determines what you will get at the end
sure.
of the day. So we need to be able to understand, all of those things. So that's just one of the challenges that I faced. And then how did I come out to getting to talk to empower people about wealth and all of that? It was also an experience. you know I remember in 2016, as at that time I was an ED in an outsourcing firm, one of the foremost outsourcing firm. Life was good. I had the official specs of office. I was living well, and I had an experience. When I say talk to people, the experience is just like a movie. It was like I was having a conversation with someone, and I was asked, what is the definition of wealth? And I'm like, is wealth more than we work, we make money, we live life? Those kind of things.
No,
What is more than that? We live, we make. And I was like, no. And I heard it was in that conversation, I was like, no, that's not what wealth is. I'm like, what else is wealth? What else is wealth? And it was a back and forth. And the next question was, what if you don't have a job? I said, what if I don't have, I'll just die. How will I survive? How will I survive if I don't have a job? And the next thing was like, no, man was not created for struggles. Man was created for ease. And I was like, what kind of a thing is this? All my life, what I've been taught is go to school, get a good grade so you can have a good job, so that you can take care of yourself, take care of your family, and even with quote the scripture in the Bible that says, "He that does not work must not eat." All of those things.
yes.
And I was like, so where is this? If I lose my job, I'll just die. And then the next question that came is, so when you die, what will happen? I said, I'll just die. No, I'll go to wherever it is that people are going, you know, and at least I won't suffer here, right? I won't
Yeah.
suffer here. And, at that instance was when my fear of death disappeared. Like, so when you die, so what happens? What happens? It was a conversation, but it was a conversation that got me thinking in depth. And towards the end of the conversation, I just said, teach me, you know. I just said, teach me. And that was in 2016. And I remember in 2018, I was seated in my office. I have an office to myself, and I heard, it is finished. So I looked under my table, like, is there somebody hiding under my table? What is finished? And a friend, I heard your job here is over. And I'm like, what? My job here is over. It's not like I have some money saved up somewhere. You know the way we live now. You just live your
Yeah,
life.
from
You
hand
know
to
that the
mouth if
next
you're not
month, the
careful.
next month salary will come, whichever way it is. And I was like, how? How do I do it? So I called a friend and I'm like, I'm hearing strange voices. My friend said, just hold on, just wait till tomorrow. I just told my driver to take me. I don't even know where. I just told him to take me out. He took me to the bank, and I was just roaming inside the bank like someone that, I didn't even know what I was doing because it was like everything was happened so fast. And then the next day was a management meeting, and we had a management meeting, and I was going into my office, and my MD said, "Oh, I would like to have a word with you." And I went into his office, and he said, "Oh, I couldn't sleep overnight." That's why I said it's like a movie. When I shared it, people would be like, "Do you mean this really happened?" It's like a movie. And I was like, "Oh, something happened overnight. I couldn't sleep overnight." And I'm like, "What happened? Why couldn't you sleep overnight?" He said, "Something very strange. That I shouldn't make fun of him. I shouldn't. That I should just relax." And I'm like, "Okay." I even forgot what was happening to me, and I was worried about what was. And he
Wrong
said,
with him?
yeah, yes. I said, "Oh, don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. Please don't make fun of me. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy." Like, okay. I said, "Just say it." He said, "I couldn't sleep overnight. That the Lord said to me," can you imagine? My MD, that the Lord said to me that your time here is up, and He has an assignment for you out there. Sandra, I just busted into laughter. Ah, ah, ah. He said, "You see, I'm crazy, right? I'm crazy, right? I'm crazy, right? I'm crazy." And I said, "No, no, you're not crazy." To me, it was like I was still
It was an
thinking,
affirmation of what you heard.
yeah, I was still thinking, how do I even tell this man? I was thinking about a lot of things. And and that was how I left my 9 to 5. And I started this journey. So, and everything emanated from the fact of, teach me, you don't know what wealth is. Let me teach you. When I teach you, you can also empower other people to truly know what wealth is. And that's why I say that I help professionals, attract wealth and abundance with ease so that they can achieve their definition of success. What is success to me is not what success means to you. And I
Yeah.
had to learn that through my experience, because there's a definition of success that people have put out there. There's a definition of wealth that the society has given to us. And
Hmm.
sometimes a lot of people are just chasing shadows. A lot of people are chasing other people's dreams, not necessarily living their dreams. So I say to people that the day you become financially free, or the day you become free, is the day you are free from living based on other people's opinion, where you are truly living your life and you say, "This is what I want, and this is the life that I am living." So what I do is to help people achieve their own definition of wealth, not what if I even think that wealth means to me, but what does wealth or what does success mean
Means
to
to
you?
you.
Yes. And my living defiled a lot of things that people will say. You have to have saved so amount of money in the bank before you left. You must have done this. My own living defiled all of that, Sandra. It defiled all of that. And living, I did some things, some success stories that I had not even done for my almost 15 years of working, you know, and it just proved to me that wealth is beyond the physical. And that's why I keep emphasizing to people that there is the psychological part or the spiritual part of wealth. Wealth is 95% psychological, 5% strategy or technical. The 5% that we were taught is the going to school, doing all of those. But nobody actually taught us that we can birth wealth and birth the things that we desire from a place where we can manifest them, where we can use our minds, where we can imagine them, focusing on our spirituality. When I say spirituality, I'm not talking about religion right now. I'm just talking about, I mentioned earlier that man has 3 dimensions to him. How we can harness our brain using our subconscious mind to actually birth the things that you want. Because for everyone, we're created in the likeness of God. We are co-creators. We are co-creators with God. So you are not a victim. You are not a victim. You have the power to decide your life. You have been given that right. So whatever it is that that's why we say, whatever it is that your mind can conceive, you can actually manifest. So for everyone, we have that
Awesome.
power in us. So for me, so I teach wealth from that perspective because it's something, it defiled everything. Sandra, I didn't have one amount of money saved. It was sudden. And at that point, he said, it is urgent. Go and write your resignation now, put the notice period, do everything. Up till now, I've not even said to him all of these things that I'm saying. I just started even sharing this story. He doesn't even know. I just left with that. I was just smiling because I couldn't even talk, because I was so shocked at that, what happened. And that also taught me that God is not a bad person, or God is not the bully that
It's
we
not
have
an
been
author of
taught.
confusion.
Yeah, that even that he's not a bully that we think he is. He loves us and is more interested in us than we can imagine. So I say to people that he set me up, because on my own I would not even have thought about living. I would have just pushed that
Yeah.
thought
You were
away.
very
But
comfortable.
yes, because he now had to go to the person. If the owner of the business says he could not sleep, so how do you want to
Because of
stay in the
you.
business?
You have to go.
Have to go. So I said to people that if we can rest in knowing that God has our good intentions at heart, he's not a terrorist. He would speak to you in ways that you can understand. He will reach out to you in ways that you can understand. And he had good purpose for me. And now, my insecurities of before, and that is what happens to a lot of professionals. You are doing well, you are earning good income, but you still have that insecurity. How do
Hmm.
I live without this salary? If something happens to my job, what happens to me? How do I face life? You have all of those insecurities, but you're wearing your suit and you're living in that nice apartment and everybody's looking up to you. But in your deepermost, you know that you are not happy, you're not excited. A lot of people are waking up to lives that is not serving them. They are not excited. They are doing jobs that they do not like. Why? All because they are trying to make a living. And for me, he broke all of those for me because I was not earning a salary anymore. And all of those things. And that showed to me that the fears that we have, the life that we live, is only based on the programming that we have been given. And that programming about money, about living life, is an unhealthy one. The people that taught us what they know. But the truth about the matter is that there are new wisdom out there that can help us live our lives. And that is why more than ever before, there's a lot, that we need to do in that life. I say to people, if you have only one life
Leave it
and
well.
you are living that one life, not happy every day, I said, isn't there something wrong? You don't have a chance to repeat that life, but you have just that one life. Your responsibility is to live it to the fullness. Your responsibility is to ensure that you live it and you live it well. And if you must live it well, you must also take ownership of it. And the way we've been taught about money, we've been taught about love, money is only a means to an end. It's only an exchange for value. If you're
Mm.
a person of value, whether you are giving your service or you are rendering a product and service, you will get money in return. So it is not for us to worry about money. It is for us to worry about the value that you can give, that can give you the money. But a lot of us think, in reverse. We think about money. But money does not, there's nothing, money is just an idea. Money is just an
Yeah.
idea. So you have to have the value. So we're not taught all of those. So people start saying, I just need money. There's nothing like money. Money is just paper. It's just, but what is the
The
value
legged
that it
tender.
can give, that can help you attract the money or the resources that you truly desire? And how can you manifest this? How can you make this possible such that you are living a happier, healthier, and wealthier life? You know, those are, that also has been part of my journey that has made me, that has brought me into this line where I now, do all of this in addition to the things that to other things that I do. I mean, I have many parts, but I'm
Sorry,
grateful. Let me
we'll take
finish.
a minute break and we'll come back again for questioning and just a recap.
That's fine.
Thank you so much. Welcome back from the time break. And just to do a quick recap for those, that was a long time. You had a long time to talk. I appreciate that. You spoke about we are the architect of our life. And there is no one actually living that has no challenges. It's either some people are just coming out of one challenge and preparing to enter another one. So at everything, everyone you see has one thing or the other they are battling. Either they are getting out of one, entering a new one. Life is a test itself because we all went to school, we all passed different tests in order to be able to get to the next level. Like you were in school, how did you pass your primary one, two, three, your grade one, your college level one, two, three? You had to pass an exam in order for you to be promoted to the next class. So that is life. And we must discover and know what have I been called to do. God has created in us a problem solving skill in us that we have in us. You've been created to solve a problem. So you must discover yourself what is that problem I've been called to solve. Harnessing all that God has put in you because everyone that God has created has a gifting in them, have a skill in them. Like she rightly said, no two people have the same thing. And sincerely, no two child of the same parents, even identical twins, have the same life stories. Because we live life based on perception. What do you see? How do you see the situation? And what do you say after all from what you see? So it's either challenges are meant to make you or they make you better. And when we look beyond ourselves, challenges are meant to make us better. When we take, feedbacks, whether negative or positive, in good stride and, not taking an offense, then we will move to the next level. You will learn from your challenges, learn from the mistakes you've made, and you'll move on. And you spoke out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speakers. You spoke about being the architect of your life. Yes, you're the designer. God has given you that power. And when you spoke about man is a spirit, has a soul, and lives in a body, what gives us the right to live on this side of the planet is the body. Once the body is off, you're gone. So that's why the body, you must take care of the body. Once the body says, no, I'm not being taken care of. Some of us work around the clock, never giving the body. Yes, if you eventually die, God will be happy to receive you home, but it's not his plan and wish for you to die suddenly. So we must take care of this container, this body that we carry around, so that the body can take us and serve us as long as, our purpose, what God has called us to do. You spoke about, um, strength, not allowing yourself to go, be strong to go through what you go through. And sometimes when we go through our challenges, they're actually not meant for us. They're meant for the people around us. God wants us to be a testimony. And that's why he says, we are lights, a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. We've been called, to go through these challenges to make us better so that others can learn. Like if you never went through the fibroid testimony, how you went through it, you probably will not be a testimony. You won't talk about it authoritatively. You won't talk, to help other women to get out of that, that cage of saying, "Oh, I have fibroids, so I cannot move on." And one thing I love about you, even in the midst of your challenges, you didn't throw in the towel. You kept going. You kept doing all you need to do. Some people would, allow challenges to, to mar them. They stay somewhere and they get depressed. And beyond getting depressed, when you stay being depressed a long time, it will lead to other things. And that's why you get to hear people now committing suicide, which ought
True.
not to be. It is said that when you share whatever you go through, your problem is 50% solved. So talk to someone, look for a buddy, someone you know you can trust, someone who can hold you accountable, someone who is there to lift you and hold your hands to walk that path. You are not called to be alone. And that's why it is said that God places the solitary in family. We have a community of friends. We have people around us. So find out who you connect with. If I connect with Dio, I should be able to call Dio and say, Dio, guess what I'm going through? And Dio probably having, an idea, and I've been through that situation. Dio can tell me our own story or somebody's else story who had gone through the same part, and she's able to help me out of it. So it is good to speak out. Let's not bottle things inward. We are a people's person. God has made us to be love beings. He first loves us and expects us to extend that same love to others, to our community. How would they know? How would men get to know God? It's through us. It's the love. So if you tell me God loves me and you're not showing me love, then then I can't even follow your God. So I need to see the love in you first before I say, okay, I want to become like Dio. I want to learn from Dio. I want Dio to mentor me. So there is that word. We are our architect of our life. We are the prophets of our life. What are you saying? In Dio's painful situation, a lot of people going through fibroid surgery would even keep their mouth dumb and not say anything. In the midst of her pain, she was still speaking. And that's why I said, what do you allow inside of you? There are three things that really makes a man: the people you hang around, the resources that come into you, and the environment where you grow. I guess you have the right words inside of you. And that's why you could speak affirmative words. You could speak words of reassuring. You could speak self talk. You could tell yourself, that year you will leave. That year you will succeed. You could also even pray for the doctors doing the surgery, even when they had not finished. So, getting what? You're getting into their head, you're making them happy, because you're exciting them. And I'm like, what kind of creature is this? We're operating now. Some people will be crying. Some people will be, based on the injection and everything that's been given to them, they're probably sleeping, these painkillers and the rest. And so, but you kept on talking. So it shows how much of personal development, how you've, over time improved yourself, opened yourself to so much learning, such that you have the right words in you. So let's, get up and let's the giftings of God in us, and let's start living life the way we are called to live, you know. And I appreciate those words. Those words, I myself, I glean from it too. And I'm sure my viewers and everyone who probably will watch this replay would, pick one or two things from it. And how did you celebrate your successes? When you had great times, it is good to celebrate because, those things keeps you going. And in the midst of all, how have you managed your relationships? Because I oftentimes will tell people, I say relationships are the ships we ride on to destiny.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
man who is successful, I will tell you, a man who has a lot of, friends and foot
yeah.
soldiers.
So, but basically, for me as a person, I'm grateful for the gift of men. When you go through your tough times, whether you have people around you
Or
or you
not.
don't have,
Yeah,
or you
sure.
have people around you. So I'm grateful for the gift of men. I'm grateful for the gift of family. People that stayed with me, through all of those times, and people that believed in me. So I'm a people person though. And
Yeah,
so I celebrate. I don't have so many friends, but at least the few that I have, I'm grateful for quality people, around me, and I'm excited about that. And for me, how do I celebrate my wins? I celebrate my wins with my family. I celebrate my wins with myself. I celebrate it with, with people around, because I've come to understand that the little things, the little things that we disregard are the things that make the bigger picture.
yeah,
Every day we live is amounting to something. Every
sure.
day is leading to something. So I dance to celebrate. Have a
I
good
told you we
time.
must have a dancing competition. That's one of my greatest hobby. When I was growing up, I was like,
Wow.
oh my God, would I be able to serve God? Because I love music. So I wanted to sing. So I love dancing. I was like, oh, Lord, why did you create music? This is a distraction. But I found out that there are better ways. You can still dance, and still keep serving God.
Yeah, that I said to people, there's nothing, there's everything was created by God.
Sure.
Everything for us to enjoy. Music has its own power. It has what it does
Uplifting.
for
Yeah.
us. Yes, there's a vibration it gives. There's an energy that it gives, and all of that. It just sets you up, and you're all excited. So I love that. So I love that. I dance a lot, even in front of the mirror. You know, those of us that do those things now. We know how to sing in front of the mirror to
Yeah.
ourselves. I will
You
know how to
know,
dance to ourselves. Just make yourself happy. Whatever makes you happy, just go ahead.
engage
Whatever
in
makes you
them.
happy and is not harmful to another person. Just have your fun and enjoy yourself.
Thank you, ma'am. We actually
Thank
overshoot
you
by
so
five
much.
minutes, but I am so excited. No, but that's a great one. We had things to say. I'm sure if I had left you talking, we'll probably be here till maybe 1 to 3 hours. But I'm excited. I had so much to glean from you. I have my books full, so that that was I was recapping. For those who probably are joining us a bit late, and just to make it real to them, and those who will be watching the replay. I want to thank you all for giving us audience. One of the reasons why we're here is because we have people and lives we need to touch. And perhaps you want to reach out to Oludayo Adeniyi. You can reach out through a social media handle. You might want to say it. And if you can't get her, just get through me. I'll be able to get her for you. It's been a very exciting evening, and I want to assure you, dare to making your word a difference. Go all out there to making a difference. I'm encouraging every of our watchers, people who are going to go through this video. Let's dare to make our word a difference. If we learn what we've learned, we impact others. The world will be a better place. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. And if this is your first time of being on this show, please kindly like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share with your friends. It is said that a leader is one who knows it and shares it with others. We don't keep it to ourselves. Like Dio rightly said, she loves to impact people. And that's how life is. Our life is a life of service, a life of significance. If you're not living a life of service, a life of significance, it's not too late. You can start it now. Let's go all out there making a difference in our world. Thank you so much, Dio, and have a nice evening.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.